I think we're live. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Voice okay? Check 1 3. Sibilance. Check 90. I like this guitar. All right, I think we are live. Sounds good? Okay. Doink. That's what I do every time the kicker doinks it off the upright. I go. Who do we got? We got Bill. We got Super Lead 100. We got Scott. Yeti Matzi. Shammy Whammy. John Dill. Fretless said. Matt. Trolls. Bill again. Stefan. Bill a third time. We got Trolls. We got Eric. And Speaker. And Curtis C. And the rest are here. We got Tony. What's up, dude? And Resolve. What's up, Dave? We got Kevin. We got Keith. What's up, Terry? Terry says it sounds fiberific. What's up, Deanna? I didn't say hello already. We got Blackjack Guitar. Andy. It's Andy's first time, so, you know, can we clean this place up? Can we act nice? Don't embarrass me in front of Andy, for Christ's sakes. Retro Puffer. We got David, we got Ben, we got Michael, Starting to dig the perps. Yeah, I've been liking the purple. Well, it's fall. You know, as everyone knows, fall is the time for purple. That's just true. Exactly, Deanna. Everyone on their best behavior. Could you put a pair of pants on? Oh. Oh. No, don't, please. And don't even... Did you have to bring up the clamp? Don't even tell Andy about the clamp, okay? Jesus. That's a tone clamp. It just... Listen, there's been countless hours talked about the tone clamp. I'm writing my freaking doctoral on it. What's up, Uncle Deathy? Herba Fireside Studio, if I didn't say that already. We have to shame Andy. Well, Andy has to earn it. You know how that goes. What would it say to those who have earned the shame if we just handed out shame? Science, exactly, Jeff. Science, thank you. Oh, you got Chromebook with ads on the side, yeah. No, Google, they're pushing hard on the ad front. They really are. I thought Master optional on a hot day. Well, for you, sure. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Tone clamp. You trying to reach for that sound and you just can't get it. Tone clamp. Are your licks falling short from where you think they should be? Tone clamp. Is your credit rating not nearly what you had hoped it to be at this point in your life? Tone clamp. Jack, you just can't give out shooting all willy-nilly. I mean, come on. Then shame has no value. Exactly, PhD. I was chair of tone clamp studies. You know. They named the Lifetime Achievement Award in tone clamp after me. You've been seeing more ads than ever on YouTube, yeah. I turn the mid-rolls off. They pester me nonstop. And I'm always saying, nope, nope. They literally, right before I came on here, there's a big banner at the top going, you know, content creators earn up to 20% more per hour when they turn on mid-rolls. And now, mid-rolls, I mean, they pitch me literally every time I go live. And mid-rolls now run beside your content. So your content isn't interrupted. You know, like when they're shooting free throws and it goes off to the side and some friggin' ad for Progressive Insurance comes up. Oh, great. No, that's great. I really don't like it. And I realize that it's how I get paid through, but you know, again, an ad at the beginning, because, you know, if I don't, even if I say no ads, they still will run an ad. They're like, hey, dummy, we're in the ad business. We're still running the ad. It's just whether or not you're getting paid for it. So I've learned to I can't say no to that. They still run the ad. So I say an ad at the beginning and an ad at the end, like I'm playing along, because people can just click away from that. You don't have to sit through the ad at the end. You can just close the window or move on to another video. It's the mid-rolls, the mid stuff I can't stand. Can't stand you. So, and they are adamant. But so far, they still will turn it on once the video's over. I do have to go in about an hour after I'm done with this live show and go in and turn that off. But if I advertise the Ben Coombs show, they'll stop. I hope so. Go see Ben. Oh, what else is there? Calvin. Nice. Michael. Octopus ears. Got Chuck. Rock and Rob, if I didn't say hello. Hello. So we were mostly cool this week. Got a little warmer on Thursday, but then cooler again like yesterday. And today wasn't too bad, but it got a little muggy. We haven't had the air conditioner on pretty much all week. But finally I just said, you know what, it's almost 80 in here. Dew point's almost 60. I'm like, I'm calling it. I closed up and threw the air conditioner on. I'll turn it off before I go to bed. You know. So now they say next week it actually might hit like in the 80s. I think we're having a little bit of a warm up. I guess it's getting warm in the Midwest, and that's sort of moving this way as it often does. So I think we're cool again maybe tomorrow and maybe even Monday, but then I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week we're going to warm up again, and I think maybe even 80 by Friday. So summer won't go away just yet. That's okay. Getting a lot of work done outside. This has been a busy week for work. I'm doing crazy amount of steps each day, and finally getting some stuff right. You know what I also got going again, which I haven't had going in a while, and I forgot how awesome it is. Geez, I guess it was like, oh my God, 2008? I think my son was 3. And I went down to the south end of Boston. Not Southie, the south end. Which I assure you is quite wealthy. Used to not be, but it is now. It's all brownstones. And, you know, those brownstones are millions of dollars, even then. So they had an under-the-counter trash masher, right? Trash compactor, $50. And I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I don't have a counter to put it under, but you don't need to do that. That's just for decorative. And I went down there. I think it was on Waltham Street. I went down there with my son, and this woman seemed pretty rich. She met me at the big double door at the front of her friggin' brownstone, and she was like, I can have some of the workers carry it down. And I said, no, don't bother. I brought a hand truck. And she saw it. She goes, oh wow, great. I said, here's your $50. Thank you. And we loaded it. I loaded it up in the back. My son couldn't help me. He was 3. I loaded it up in the back, and I've been using that for, geez, years. But it was sort of tucked away. Haven't used it in years. I pulled it out and put a fresh bag in it, and man, is that thing awesome. I forgot how awesome having a trash compactor is. Just keep filling it, just keep feeding it, and just let that all mash down. Now when it's done, that bag is gonna friggin' weigh a ton, and you actually have to break you could never pull it out. You actually, the box actually breaks away and it completely opens up, so you can actually take the bag out, because the sidewall pressure is so great you could never get the friggin' bag out. It's insane. But hand truck or dolly? I'd say hand truck. Dolly, it thinks a hand truck has two wheels. I think a dolly. No, I guess they're both of them. I see. Maybe I'm thinking a dolly has four, but no, it's two-wheeler. Is what we would call around here two-wheeler. Go grab me the two-wheeler. So I just got it going today again. And I have a bunch of stuff that is very compactable. And it's almost like a freaking clown car how much you can just pack in there and mash down. It's been awesome. And we're in a massive clean out. And the fish tank, that was the other big thing that happened this week. The freaking fish tank is finally over. And I got up the day after. And it was sad to see Aaron go, the guy who came every month to work on it. He did the final clean out. He took the live rock, he took the fish, he took the sand, which is live sand. And he took all that and sort of clean the tank out. But that tank is so friggin' big. It's so ridiculously large and oversized. I don't know. It's 120 gallon. And they went with, 1/2-inch glass, which is very heavy. I'm pretty sure the tank by itself without the base is over 200 pounds. So it's going to be insane to try and move that stupid thing. Like I told my wife, I said, you went too far with this. Now it's so big it's unwieldy. And I don't know what, either I'm going to smash it up with a sledgehammer and take it out in pieces, or I don't know how we're getting this thing out of here in one piece. She's like, well, maybe we can find a buyer. And I'm like, well, good luck. But it needs a new bulkhead, which they say costs about $100. Not too bad. It is repairable, but we're so over it. I was down there the day after it was done, and you don't realize just how noisy that thing was at like all times. It's like the house is so quiet. I'm like, I can't believe it. It's like, I'm sure the cats must love it, because that thing was just going like nonstop. It's always gurgling, churgling, moving water around. It's got some vibration somewhere from something, some pump. I finally got the barrel out from down here. Trying to clean that out. That's got a big, I'm going to have to pressure wash it because the bottom of it is kind of impregnated with salt. Oh, God. No, the guy will rehome them. No, they're good. They said they'd take the tank if they had a place for it, but the tank is just too big. They're like, we literally don't have a place to put it. And I'm sure they would love to take it, clean it up, and sell it. My son wanted to not give the tank, but sell the tank to a friend for freshwater fish. And I said, that's not a freshwater fish tank. He's like, it can't be converted. I said, I don't think it can. I don't know. He's going to have to get a new bulkhead. You're going to have to clean it out, or else the carbonate, what is that? Like, it's like a calcium carbonate algae or something that grows on it. That's all going to dissolve in the fresh water, and it's going to destroy the pH. It's going to kill those friggin' fish. You know, so it's not what you think. It's not that easy. You're going to have to really clean that tank out if you want to go fresh water. You're probably kind of stuck salt water, and just change the bulkhead. It's a nightmare. You know, again, it's very much like a boat. The two happiest days of your life: the day you get it, and the day you get rid of it. I know, I might have to pay someone just to get out of my house, which I wouldn't do. I'd take a sledgehammer to it and take it out in pieces. I'm sure we could get the base out. We could sell the other parts, but the tank itself, no. The tank is 1/2-inch glass. And it's like, you know, 4 feet long by like 3 feet deep. You know, or 2.5 feet deep by like 3 feet tall. The thing is huge. It's ridiculously large. When I got it, I was like, you cannot even be serious. How much did this stupid thing cost? Oh, it's the money that Papa gave him for this, and he's not doing that, so he had like extra money. I'm sure that was, I'm going to say 4 G's. Five, I'm going to 5 G's. And they're going to be lucky if they can get friggin' $500 for it. Because it's a goddamn albatross. That bloom shroom? Yeah, boat bust out another 1,000. Yeah, that's like a fish tank, man. God, it is a money pit. It really is. So you know, it's good to turn off all the heaters and all the you know, irrigation that's associated with it that has to run nonstop. Like I said, the house is just quieter with the thing off. But now I have this stinky old tank in my friggin' living room that's already worn out its welcome. I'm already like, yeah, what do we, how many days now? 3 days? How many days are we into this? Because I just know them. I'll be talking about this a year from now. You're going to be like, is the tank gone yet? Now, what do you think? Of course not. Of course the tank isn't gone yet. Oh. Yeah, exactly. A 55 gallon is unreasonable. We had a 60. We had a wonderful puffer fish called Puffy, who I loved. Puffy died when we got the new tank. He did not survive the migration from the smaller tank to the bigger one. The tank died when Puffy died, as far as I was concerned. Okay, that was the coolest fish we had. It wasn't even close. He putted around like a goddamn helicopter. It was the friggin' best. That fish was the best. And, you know, it's sort of, really, the tank died when Puffy didn't make it to the new tank. That was pretty much the end of it as far as I was concerned. You know, so. And the Clammy is still missing. So, we don't know. Exactly, I know. Rip Puffy. God. Listen, I think I said at the time, our lives are in your hands and you have Butterfingers? I mean, Jesus, come on. What are we paying you for? We could have moved the fish over to the new tank and killed it too. The point of hiring you is so that didn't happen. You know, but, you know, like they would say, and I have to give them a little bit of defense on this, you never know. And Puffy had already been through some major stuff. He had already been really sick at one point. And I thought for sure, because as anyone who's had a fish tank knows, when a fish gets sick, it doesn't recover. period. It's just a straight decline. He got really sick. I said, oh my God, we're losing Puffy. And he friggin' recovered. I could not believe it. It was stunning. And then like a year later, we got the new tank. But he, like a year prior to that, we had him a long time too. We got him in 2016. And I want to say we got the new tank in like 2021 or so. I'd have to go back and look. Maybe 2020, 2021. Something like that. The old tank was better. I'd have to trim that pufferfish's teeth. Yeah, no, we would feed Puffy clams so he could trim his teeth. They would give us, you know, because he had a bit of a, you know, a bit of a horse jaw, right? Like Mr. Limpet. You know, he really did. He had quite a set of teeth on him. Yeah, bringing a gerbil to the vet is like bringing a disposable lighter to get repaired. It kind of is. It's like, how much money am I sinking into this goddamn gerbil? They're like, well, it's going to be $350 for the diagnostics, and then I'm going to put a little gerby here on a little treatment plan. It's going to cost another $800. You're like, and how bad is it if we don't do anything at all? Like, what if we just leave, like, right now? Oh, no, it gets expensive. Oh, it gets expensive. Exactly. Baba Booey fish. We could have called them Fohai, Puffy. I like African cichlids. Well, that's one of the few freshwater fish that actually, because it's kind of brackish, that actually might be okay in that tank for a freshwater fish is a cichlid. They could actually take that pH, but that might be like the only one. So if he wants to do anything beyond that, I think he's going to have to like almost pressure wash the inside of that tank and, you know, and use some sort of bleach or something. You got to be careful because some materials will break that plastic down. You certainly couldn't use alcohol; it would destroy the plastic. You could probably use bleach though, in a diluted form, and try and wipe it out. But you've got to make sure you rinse that. Or you're going to just kill your freshwater fish. That's all. Give a $7,000 bulldog and counting. Yeah, no, bulldogs are very expensive. You know, they need a lot of medical care, and that is not cheap. We got the cat. In fact, my wife was even bringing it up. She's like, "No, we have to be real careful because not only are we back paying my daughter's tuition, which is like almost an extra $2,000 a month, we got the cats coming up soon." For the vet appointments, and it's like $1,000, right? It's about $250 a cat, $250, $800 to $1,000. Got to get friggin' Cutie on a goddamn diet. She's going to embarrass us. We're going to show up, and they're going to be like, So, have you been taking the food away like we've been saying to? Look, she's very insistent. She is freaking huge. Talking with catfish and bullfrogs, yeah. I said, well, just throw a snake in there, you'll be fine. clean that glass up. Still smells like the ocean in there. Oh, so we got some new guitars this week. There's been a bit of a flood of instruments. I want to say PRS right there. Yeah. They got the new Mira was announced this week. Trying to hit it's trying to hit a price point. Trying to get into a sort of like a, more expensive than the SE series, but certainly less expensive than even the CE series on the, right? Even less expensive no, they're still S2s, but is Mira even less expensive than the S2 series? I think maybe, I'm not sure. I'd have to look and get some of the pricing, but it's all about hitting a price point. They're trying to fill in. They literally have a board up, all right, we're starting at $499 and we're going up to $48,000 now. In here, we need to hit multiple price points between here and here and here. Pattern thin. Looking pretty good. Doing the high gloss nitro, but some of those look satin, didn't they? They all nitro? That looks satin to me. But it could just be the paint. That looks satin. That looks satin to me. Oh yeah. Okay, so the 594 here, or the 594 satin here. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna, that's kind of a good looking guitar. Just saying, just grabbing me right out of the gate. I'm gonna say that's a pretty good looking guitar right there. Kind of like it. Kind of like that look. Yeah, single stop, tailpiece, brass inserts. Okay, and a bunch of. So it's got I see. It's got some toggles, right? With some taps, taparoo. And then that's the satin one. Satin looks good when you first get it, but I just find that over time, and maybe this is the effect people want, where my skin touches the finish on a regular basis, you get a hot spot. You slowly turn it semi-gloss. That's the only thing. But maybe that's what people want. They're like, yeah, dummy, that's what we like about it. I'm like, oh, well, touche. Well, there you go. I guess that. But I'm not crazy about it. Okay, your cloudburst, dark cherry sunburst, matcha green, Mavis mint metallic midnight, which I have to say that looks pretty good, nice and contrasty with those pickup rings. That one too, those are pretty good. That's not bad. It's almost a little too light, and that just looks army drab. No. It's a hard pass on that one, but the rest will look good. All right, let's go find that other one. That was the satin. Here is the Mira. Where are those colors at the bottom? I think I blew past that. Colors. All right, we got antique white, black, nice. Rainbow, hollow flake. What? I did not see that coming. I did not. Rainbow hollow flake. Well then, okay. Oh, okay. Jesus. Well, hollow flake. I didn't even. I mean, I knew you had rainbow. I didn't know you had hollow flake. Jeez. That's huh. Wow. All right. Okay. Dark cherry sunburst, platinum metallic, vintage cherry, which is nice. I like it with the gloss like that. I have to say, kind of like the white. That rainbow hollow. I gotta see that up. I gotta see that one in person. So is that like truly like hollow flaking? In other words, are these shimmering like a, you know what I'm saying, like a true hollow flake would? Or is that just what they're calling it and it's like some sort of glitter paint? Inquiring minds want to know. But that's a bold move to call it hollow flake if that doesn't have some sort of, you know what I'm saying? If it's not like the old hollow from the 80s. The most intriguing one of the lot, I have to say. All right. Oh, hold on. I won't bore you with searches. There. And then right here. And then, yeah. Right here. Okay. All right. Calm down. Jesus. He's having an episode. Whoa. Woo. Well, oh my God. Look at those glasses. I don't even have to hear him play. We know he's good. You seen those? Are those Oakleys? Are those like Oakleys and stuff? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Whoa. Slow down there, kid. Whoa. Slow down. You seeing this, dude? Whoa. Damn. Okay. These are the new Pro Origins, 1985. Yeah, this is what we were all like in 1985. I can assure you, that's exactly. Oh yeah, no, that checks out. That checks out. All right. See, at first, when I first saw this, I said, it's a Jack Butler. But it's not a Jack Butler. Jack Butler actually had much bigger flakes. It was much more of a glitter, like a red glitter sparkle paint job than this. This is straight up just metallic red, right? Than what the Jack Butler is. But other than that, this did kind of remind me of the Jack Butler a bit when I first saw it. That headstock, that flame, I mean, the maple fretboard, you know, the red guitar, you know. It did have Jack Butler vibes all over it. But it's not. If you go and look at the Jack Butler, it's way flakier. It's got a buttery, flaky crust, unlike this one. Right there, the Pro Origins. Yep, you know where it originates from? Down Mexico way. That's where Joe ran off to after he gunned his old lady down. Pro Origins. It seems like a whole new series. Let me see. Yeah. Kind of like the Two-Face. I don't know. The yin to the yang. Not bad. It's very 80s, that's for sure. I could totally see that coming out in the 80s. Absolutely. Satin, right? That's satin. I gotta think it is. Do they say anywhere? The gig bag included. Oh no, that looks gloss. That looks gloss to me. I think it's gloss. Gloss? Nice. You know, it just depends on the photographer, right? Because that could look satin. It's almost like a little, he did a little too good of a job. Turn that polarizer off, bro. Let's get a little, you know, reflective highlight. And these two are already sold out. Is it sold out, or sometimes the handheld companies do that when they're not quite ready for sale yet? They'll say sold out, and then you show up one day and they're for sale. I don't know. Oh, that's the single pickup one. Yeah, you know, I found I don't like single pickup guitars. I miss the neck pickup. I really do. But that is the new. Oh God, hold on, my freaking shoulder here. Oh. Oh, I think I pulled my freaking neck. All right, so that's the new Jacksons. Not bad. I think they're all made in Mexico, and they all run between about 1260 and 1450, 1460. 1470. 1470 is the new 1200. All right. Let's go back here. Let me check Charvel ice cream here. Yeah, there it is. I don't want to join your newsletter. Enough with your newslettery. Okay, yeah. So that's a new one right there. The Rick Graham Signature Pro. Rick Graham, he might have the most economical left hand I've ever seen. He has made an art of the fret hand, like minimal movement. It barely looks like his hand's moving. You can tell when he's out of practice because they move more. When he's really in practice, his left hand looks like it's not even really moving all that much. It's insane. That is technique right there. I think these are them. No? What's the new Charvels? I thought it was this one with the matching. No, that's not it. What the frick? Let me see, view all. Here they are. I thought so. Yeah. Kind of looks a little, I mean, is it me or does it look a little Jake Ely in that Blue Burst? Just a little bit. No, a little bit. Little Jake Ely-ish. Now, Jake Ely, I don't think he does the maple, but that Blue Burst and the matching headstock's giving me Jake Ely vibes. The controversial headstock logo following the neck profile. It would usually follow the bottom of the cut. Oh, it's, you know, variations. So what was the other one? The Blue Burst and satin, or satin? Satin on that one. All right. So satin on the black, and yeah, that's definitely looks gloss on the. That looks gloss on the blue. That's for sure. Yeah, gloss. Gloss right there. All right, that's that one. We got this one. We got the white. Kind of like the matching headstock. That's a nice looking. Kind of like that. It's almost like a, you know, what would they call that? A monochromatic or duochromatic, right? And the red. Huh. So, you know what it kind of reminds me of? Is my Fender the Strat. A little bit. No. That's no. It's a hard pass. I mean, it does. It reminds me of my old Fender the Strat. You know. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. No. All right. That's. I don't think I like that one. And what's this one? See, this one uses black hardware. Why don't they just stick with the black? Why are they going gold? Why'd you have to go gold, bro? Now what's this? Okay, hardtail. Oh, right, hardtail. Yeah, see, that's nice too. Again, sort of like a duochromatic, right? Or like a monochromatic. Kinda. I kind of like it. I really do. Yeah, hardtail, full on hardtail. Oh, wait a second. Where is the is the output jack? Where the hell is that output jack? Don't ruin it with a stupid ass output jack. I don't think they did. I think the output jack, well, it's hard to see there. I want to say it's right there. And it's not the reverse thing. You can't see it because I'm blocking it, but I think it's right there. All right. I like the red, though. That's nice. And what's the other one? Black, but that looks satin. That is satin. Yeah, again, satin looks great the day you take it home. But I just feel like it does build hot spots over time. Gloss on the red. And then, of course, the new Rick Graham. Rick! If I ever see Rick, I'm going to go, Rick! Rick! Is that from SNL? Rick! Rick! Oh, yeah. Reverse headstock. It's basically a DK, right? Oh, no, Rick. No. Ricky. Come on, buddy. I love... I will say this. That DK that I had here a couple of months ago, that was a really nice playing guitar. The neck on that guitar was really, really nice. Pleasure to play. Like, really, like, memorably nice. All right, who else? New Charvel, new PRS, new Jacksons. Hold up. I think we got maybe one new Epiphone. We have a new Epiphone. I think the latest for them are these two. If you sort by, it's an SG with a custom paint and the double neck. I think in the Alpine white. I'm pretty sure, which are exclusive for Epiphone. I'm pretty sure this is their latest put. I could have sworn I saw an email about it, or someone had a post about it. But I think that's it. It's just this and that. The last big release they did were the inspired by Gibson acoustics. It's a good looking guitar though, right there. Got to admit. And, that's pretty nice. All right. Who? Oh, Schecter. Hold up. Here we can find. Show me. Schecter. Is that Schecter? Sometimes you press Schecter and it's like, welcome to Schecter Medical Supplies. It's like, okay. Now, can I get Schecter guitars? Here we go. Can I go right? Yeah, right there. All right. So the 80s are back. I mean, come on. This guitar, it's a USA made guitar. That's why it's 4 Gs. And it's the crackle. It's the full-on crackle. Do. Yeah, I wish they would give me. I mean, they have photos down here, but it's like, you know, could you blow them up and give me a nice little carousel to work from? Is that too much to ask for a $4,000 guitar? Oh my God, is that not countersunk? Does that $4,000 guitar have a top-mounted plate? Well, that's an unfortunate bit of news. Anything? Yeah, those are like top-mounted. Oh my God, those are like top. You know, come on. With 4 Gs, you can't countersink? Come on, bro. Yeah. I would say that, and again, it's all in context of price point. It's less impressive. I kind of like that Charvel with the matching headstock with the hardtail. Kind of look nice. That was a good looking guitar. Anything else? We had new PRSs. We had new Jacksons. We had new Charvels. We had new Schecters. New Epiphone. That might be it. That could be all of them. Is there a new IBI? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't. The problem with Ibanez is a lot of times their latest stuff isn't on their website. You know, they have to wait for the web guy to get around to doing that. You really see it on their you know, on their social media. Well, admittedly, that's nice, and so is that. That's pretty nice. But these are probably $10,000 instruments, like friggin' 8 to 10 grand. Like these are like one-offs, or close to it. Like literally make a few dozen. I think that guitar I have from 2011, that custom shop, they made 9. They made 9 of those that year. And that color. They made 9 in a lot of colors, and then in one color, they made 18. I think they made 64 total guitars that year. So not a huge. It's a kind of a cool finish, though. I'm sure this is a ridiculously expensive guitar. Like stupid expensive. Well, I'll find out at the NAMM show, because they said available early 2026. We'll get the lowdown by the NAMM show. I'm telling you, it's like 6-7 grand, maybe more. The IBI P3 is pretty badass. So the IBI P3, I don't know if I mentioned this last week. Maybe I did. I'm gonna repeat at the risk of repeating myself. I'll say it again. You know, when that's the Power 2, which is what that is play on. You know, the original Power, it looked very different. It was Joe Satriani's it was his first. Yeah, there it is. It was his first. That's what the original Power looked like, right there. Right, it was a much more blocky, like squared off body. He wound up going with a much more rounder design with the radius, and they dropped the Power. And this was also a bit of a failure too. There was a huge rush. See, Ibanez wasn't the only one. This was a lot of companies were doing this then. Charvel did it. Jackson might have done it. Kramer did it on a few guitars. I think Speaker had a guitar that had a similar setup. There was a lot of companies coming out right around this time with the same thing. Someone had the great idea, why don't we just put 3 individual toggles? These 2 will just be straight up on off, and it'll be for each one of these pickups. And this one will be like a 3-way. One's off, one's on, and one's coil split. And then, the person can just set up the pickup configuration they want. On paper, it sounded amazing. Then you got on stage, and if you had a song where you had to switch pickups, you realized this system sucks. This is why toggle switches are good. This is why blade switches are good. Hold on, let me switch this one pickup off. Let me try and turn this other pickup on. I mean, you could try and get routines down, but it was a bit of a pain in the ass. And it was not very good. Again, Ibanez did it. Charvel did it. I think Kramer did it. There was this huge run to 3 individual toggles, and kind of burned out pretty quickly because it just wasn't that great a system. Even though for a little while they were all doing it. It was the style at the time, without a doubt. But that's the original Power. Of course, if you go, really, this is the new P3. And if you notice, the P3 is available in the USA colors, which is black, Desert Sun yellow, and this should be the purple neon, which is a flip-flop color. Now, if you and these are MIJ. If you look at the ones from back in the 80s, the ones in Europe had a pickguard. A lot of people were like, where the hell's the pickguard? If you got one in Europe, or if you got one in Japan, it had a pickguard. If you got one in the United States, it had no pickguard. If you got one in the United States, it was available in black, purple neon, or Desert Sun yellow, which is all the... So it looks like they're definitely going for the U.S. interpretation of the P2, right? We just saw the P1, which was that blocky red one. This is the P3, and I'm talking about the P2, which came out in 89, roughly. And that other one we were looking at was 88. If you'll notice, though, that this one has a 24 fret neck. The United States ones back then were 22 frets. The ones with the pickguard, internationally, the Japanese market and the European market, those had 24 frets. So this has the body of the USA series in the USA colors and the neck of the non-USA, that would be the European market and the Japanese market, merged together. It's an unholy mashup. Like that. Look at that. Of USA body and non-USA neck. But these are all... So they took probably the best of both worlds. They said, well, let's do 24, because they're probably maybe even already doing some guitars with 24, so let's just stick with that. And it's probably just cheaper not to put on the pickguard. Right? So you save a little bit of money. So both probably came out of a way to save money. One, why are we doing a 22 if we're already making a 24? And two, adding a pickguard just costs more money. So I think that's where the P3 came from. The mashup of the two different markets. Ibanez Visions are $89.22 on Reverb. That's a bargain, huh? Can I get a deal on like 3 of them? Yeah, the rotary switch was also kind of derided. Again, on paper, it sounds great. We'll just use a rotary switch. Then you're clicking. Wait, click, 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 click. I have to do 3 clicks. Click, click, click. Wait, no, did I click too many clicks? 1, 2. Wait, let me go all the way to one end. And now I click back 1, 2. I mean, come on. Versus, you know. Just so instant. So easy. Oh, Satch Boogie, what's up, buddy? Ibanez could have kept the 3-way blade switch and definitely put a beehive knob on it. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have the beehive, does it? That original Power had the beehive, though. Where's that beehive? Hold on. Yeah, I know that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Yeah, that OG one's got the beehive. Oh, beehive. Yeah. I think I had those on maybe one guitar. I think maybe I had a Radius with a beehive. I'm trying to remember now. They did not use them on the RG. It was a different knob. The beehive was on the 540S, the 540P. I think I had mine on a 540R on a Radius. At least on one of them, I had the. Right, it's got the little rubber rings for the little grippy rubber rings, which I think they did on guitars prior to this series. Weren't they doing this in like, maybe 85, 86 with some of the early Roadstars, some of the RSs? They had already switched to the beehive. Show me how to play Secrets by Van Halen on 6-string. I don't think I know that one. Not off the top of my head. Is that from the Roth years? Is it from Diver Down? I can't think of it. Not off the top of my head. Yeah, from Diver Down. I'd listen to it, but I'd get a freaking copyright strike. Yeah, they're freaking brutal. I've been listening more to that that AI guy, who I think added 10,000 new subscribers in a week. They're not all hits, right? He's done a few that, like, not bad, but not great. But some of them are. Some of them you're like, oh man, that's really freaking good. I did not see that coming. That's pretty good. But it seems like he's tried a bunch of different styles, and taking something and making it 70s soul funk is been his biggest payoff, right? He takes a famous song and he just has AI do it in another genre. Now, he was doing it, right? He'd take it and have him make it reggae and make it sort of like Spanish pop, and but those didn't do as well. He really hit when he said make it sound like a 70s song or like a disco song. And then I would love to see him, and he could probably do it, start taking some of those old like Whitney Houston songs, some of those old, straight up 80s pop singles, and and making them like death metal, right? I mean, it works both ways. He's been taking Iron Maiden songs and turning them into 70s, funk tunes. He could probably go the other way and take, old funk tunes and make them sound like Iron Maiden. You'll know the song secrets when you hear it. It's played with a 12 string. Jesus. You're over a dead spot with those harmonics. Gotta hit them on the bridge pickup. Pretty common. Yeah. I'd have to listen to it again. It's been a long time. It's a couple years since I got that. I was listening to that stuff when I had the little guitar going. And he plays it with the Kramer double neck. Oh God, remember that guitar? Crazy. My wife noticed that the Costco branded coffee has been going away. She goes, the pallet's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and they're not really replacing it. She goes, it feels like they're exiting the market. And I'm like, oh, great. She goes, they might just leave it to Starbucks and just get out of exit the coffee market for their Kirkland brand, which we really like, and it's half the money, so we'll see. Though now it's up to $20 a friggin' bag. From 12, it was 12 in March. Then it went to like 17, which was the big jump, and now it's at $19.99, 20 bucks. Yeah, that's a little cat trap I set back there on the blanket, but no takers. I hate finding new coffee. Yeah, same here. It's like, we kind of have the one we like. What's the line? You're asking a lot to have a man find a new malt liquor, right? The guy goes to the package store. He's like, where the hell's him? He's looking for a certain malt liquor. He goes, yeah, we don't carry that anymore. He's like, we carry this brand. He's like, what? He's like, it's all the same. He's like, yeah, you're asking a lot. Start buying off of Amazon. I worry about the freshness, so that's one thing. That Kirkland stuff was good, man. I do feel like it could just be a supply thing. Maybe they'll all get restocked again, or maybe they're switching suppliers and they're waiting for the supply to completely run out before they get the new supplier. But it doesn't bode well. It's still cheaper than buying coffee out, that's for sure. A lot cheaper. My father-in-law came home on Monday from the hospital finally. He had been in outpatient, like rehab, trying to get his strength back. He had he had a little heart surgery back a few weeks ago. He's 89. It's, at his age, it's like getting, like beat up real bad, because he's like, it's hard to recover. So he went through the surgery, and he's finally good enough to go home. He went home on Monday, and just trying to get him all situated. It's a lot. My wife's going through a lot, trying to get him comfortable and get a situation for him, but we'll see. He's just it's tough. His eyesight has just gotten so bad. He was legally blind a couple of years ago, but now I feel like his eyesight's just completely gone. So he can't even prepare his own meals. It's really tough. So he definitely needs round the clock care, and it's tricky. But her brother lives there, and he can do a lot, and so she's been going up every day. But he's certainly doing better than he was. He was really rough there for a little bit in the hospital, but he's feeling better now. I feel like he's sort of, once you get home, you start to feel a little better. So we'll just see. Hopefully he's feeling more, up and about. But God, he can't see. He can't friggin' see. Yeah, my dad, just talk about, a tale of two dads. My dad is much older. My dad's going to be 92 in a few months. He's been 91 since January. And he could drive a car. His eyesight's pretty good. His hearing's fine. He's certainly very mobile and strong and moving around. They're telling him you have to stop mowing the lawn. You have to hire someone to mow the lawn. He's not slowing down at all. Just completely different than her dad. So it's it really is a tale of two dads. Because my dad is, the speaker will tell you, he was out there walking around talking, we got to use this, you got to use that. Because the speaker picked up, my dad was getting rid of an old mower he had, and the speaker took it off his hands. And, he's still pretty sharp, still pretty fresh. It's crazy. But he's doing better. The good news is that, as far as he can do, he's kind of doing better. Could I have my dad on my show? No. I would have goddamn train wreck that'd be. Be like, Dad, warrants don't expire. Shut up. I was talking about your dad's lawn situation. Yeah, it's funny. I was going through some old photos, and I saw photos of my house. First of all, my house had just been painted. It looked so friggin' good. My house looks so terrible now, just awful. My house looks so friggin' amazing. I was like, oh my God, this looks good. My house hasn't been painted in 20 years, and I used a stain, and it's faded. It looks awful. And my God, the house looks so good, and my lawn, I can't believe how good my friggin' lawn looked. I'm like, oh my God, it looks so bad now. What was I thinking? Good for you, Dad. Keep him active. That's the key. He's definitely active. Can't slow him down. Heard so much about him. Yeah. Well, he's been around for 91 years, so there's a lot of history there. You think my mic volume is low? Check. It's looking pretty high on my meter compared to the guitar. That could be on your end. In fact, I can hear the guitar coming through the mic. Mic volume good. Sounds good to you, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can usually get a pretty good idea for the mix of the headphones. Yeah. Yeah, we're crowdsourcing it there, DD2, and we're discovering that's on you, bro. The output on YouTube is low? Just the general output? I don't know if I can... I'm not really sure if I can turn that up. Because I have the slider all the way over. Let me turn that there. Okay. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Oh yeah, right there. Check. Check. Right. Check. All right. I'm gonna change that slightly. Check. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better or is that worse? Right there. Just changing that right there. Is that better? Is that check? You got to remember that these can't be separated. These are inextricably linked. No, thank you, Mateo. Hey, Steve, can you play the Hey You solo by Pink Floyd, please? I don't think I know it. I don't think sorry to disappoint, but not off the top of my head, no. Sorry. Are you getting pop-up ads, Gary? Is that better? And it's not like too over the top. I could even try and tweak it. I could even try and tweak it a little bit more. I had a little bit more room, but I do worry it's going to get over saturated. Let me see. I'm just looking. Hold on. I haven't touched any. Calm down. I haven't touched anything yet. I'm just looking. Oh. No, that looks all right. And that looks okay right here. Check 1-3. How's that? I turned it up just a hair more, like less than 10%. Check, 90%. Check. Like Felix. Right? We have the sinuses. Check. See if you still planning on buying a Kramer 87 Deluxe and Flip-Flop Blue you talked about last week. I don't think so. We have to be careful because school is back in session, and so, we have to pay my daughter's school tuition. That's almost an extra $2,000 a month. Just a little tricky to come up with. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have a new bill. How much is it? $2,000 a month. Oh, okay. How long does that go on for? Oh, about 6 months. Oh, okay. Okay. Is this better? Check 3, 9, 17, 1,420. I know exactly. That's the second mortgage. But you know what? As of right now, we have 0 student loan. The kids have no student loans. None. And I got friends who have kids who have graduated, and they get 6 figures in loans. And some of those 6 figures start with the number 2. That's a lot of money to have to owe right out of the gate, right out of college. And it's like, with AI and the unpredictability of, a lot of the market out there for college-educated stuff, it's hard to justify it. So we've been trying to just say, go to a state school, go to college, get a degree, but go to a state school and let's see if we can pay it as we go. And that's what we've been doing. It's tricky. It's hard. Yeah, that's a lot of debt to carry right out of the. That's a lot of money to carry right out of school. Now you're going to go get a job. So when I got out of school, for all my college, all my graduate school, everything, when I got out, I owed, I think it was about $40,000, like $38,000, something like that, which isn't a ton of money, relatively speaking. I paid $550 a month for 15 straight years. 15. If you add up all the money I paid out about $72,000, roughly double what the loan, to me was. That was a lot. That's a lot to come out. That's a car loan. $550 a month for 15 years. That's crazy. What do you think of the new Mammoth song that saved the tape? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I heard he had put a new tune out, and I saw just a bit of it where he was playing like every guitar, but to be honest, I only saw a kind of a short clip of it, and I haven't really checked out the whole tune or listened to the lyrics or anything like that. No, that can be a killer. It depends. You know, if you have low rent debt, it's fine, right? You know, single digits. But when you start to get into like double digit interest rates, it's insane. You know, it's you know, it's quite a, you know, burden just to start out with. It's like you're just getting your first few jobs, and you've already got to come up with what, you know, what used to be kind of a month's rent. Now I don't think you could get a place for $500-600 a month, but you know what I'm saying. It might keep you from getting an apartment because the apartment is $1,600 a month, and with now when you add your student loan, now you're up to like $2,300 a month, and you're like, I just can't afford this, right? So, yeah, no, it's tough. So we're trying. So far, so good. But we'll see. You know, when my wife did it, she got a bunch of scholarships. She got out paying almost no money. And when she went for her graduate degree, her MBA, she went to like the night school stuff, went to a good school, and her work would pay up to $5,000 a year towards her tuition, or it might have been $5,000 a semester, but it was, I think it was $5,000 a year they would pay towards her. So she would take, I think the classes were $3,500 a class. So she would take 2 classes for $7,000. They would pay 5 of the $7,000. I think it was per semester. And she'd take 2 classes. They'd pay $5,000. She'd pay $2,000. And never took a loan. Just paid it. And she did that program so slowly. She did it over the longest period they would allow, which was 7 years. And they pretty much paid, you know, 5/7. She just did that over and over and over again, where they would pay 5 of the $7,000. So that really worked out. She really got her work to cover a lot of. She left that graduate school with absolutely no loans. Just basically had her work cover, you know, more than half of it. Literally $5,000 out of $7,000. Between scholarships and internships, yeah. My son, he got a job at the school. He just put his notice in for the EMT transport company because it's going to turn wintry. And he went through it all last winter. He's been working there for well over a year. A couple of years now, I feel. At least well over a year. He's been doing the EMT thing. Transport, not emergencies. And he got a job as a tutor, as a math tutor at college. That pays pretty decent. Not quite as well as an EMT pays, but it's not bad. He doesn't need a ton of money to get to school and back. So he's going to end that and try to get more hours at the school, which he's got to be there anyway. I'm trying to remember it now. Do 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 dee do dee dee do do dee. My wife is, better to have some hand skills. My wife came to me the other night because she's dealing with, her dad and her brother for things that are, just kind of like wrong at things that need to get done at the house and different things like that. And she just came and she was like, I have to stop and just realize that just how much you know. Like the breadth of knowledge that you have compared to these other people I'm dealing with. She goes, really? She goes, you seriously? I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt to study up on what you're trying to do. As it's the saying goes, do your homework. Yeah, college degree and some trade skills to be safe. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I tell you, my wife the best thing she ever did was get that MBA. It's more than paid for itself, that's for sure. Oh God, I might have to get a new strap. This strap is probably starting to dig my shoulder a little bit. I think it's just a plant tune, right? What is that? Big log? Something like that. Right? I know he changed his key there slightly, and when he does that bend, he's in A minor, and then he quickly changes off just a hair, just on that one. Oh God! Yeah, he's got the compressor on max on that tune. He says he never got the degree, but I had IT skills and lots of construction. I tell you, IT skills go a long way. Don't underestimate the power of IT skills. It's always baffling to me how little people know about guitars, about computers. I'm like, they're really not that tricky. But I was way more into hardware than I was into software. About trying to get hardware working, hardware going. Building up my compact ProLiant servers. That old chestnut. This guitar does look good though, huh? Pretty good. Let's go to purple cam. Oop, wrong one. Right there. Do 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 do. Nice. Now, some people were saying that they thought Squire had a similar guitar with 3 singles. Now, I remember Bobby loaning me a Squire that had a humbucker and a single, but I could have sworn it was a humbucker. It wasn't 3 singles, but maybe I'm not remembering it correctly. Maybe it was 3 singles. But some people were some people were saying, no, Squire's already done that. Because I was like, I've never seen this before. They're like, no. Robbie Robertson had a guitar that did that. And Squire had a contemporary Strat. I'm like, really? Because I could have sworn I had one here 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I thought it was a humbucker and a single. Maybe I'm wrong. Could have been 3 singles, and I just don't remember it. Hello, Brazil. IT moves so fast. It's great when you're young and learning new stuff all the time. Yeah. But at the time, everyone wanted to become Cisco certified because Cisco was all the rage, right? Become, I guess it was CNE, Cisco Network Engineer. That was the holy grail of Cisco. Yeah, nice take on double creams. All you got to do is just make it 2 single coils, and you're fine. It's not a humbucker. It's 2 single coils. Yeah, so a CCNA is a Cisco Certified Network Administrator. That's pretty low on the totem pole. Then you can go to like Cisco Certified Network. Probably, it's not an engineer. It's like it could be like a technician, right? As you work your way up. So you start as an administrator, you work to like a technician, and then eventually you reach like engineer. CNE, I thought was they might have changed it by now. But CNE, I thought, was the top one. Probably cost you friggin' 30 grand to get it. But it would pay off. And you'd know your way around a Cisco router, so you could go in there. But that all got a lot easier over time. And Cisco, although at the time, Cisco was on fire. And I will say for the next good 10, 15 years, Cisco still pretty much ruled. I don't know that anyone has come along. I haven't been in big server back rooms a lot, and pretty much at all lately, so I don't know what they're using now. But back then, it was Cisco and pretty much just Cisco. So it went CCNA to CCNP and then CCIE. Okay. CCIE was the top. Oh, really? So CNA, CNE was Novell. Okay. Yeah, I could be confusing the two. Because back then, that's all, right, everyone was trying to get certified. You'd want to get... Microsoft certified, whatever you could get. You'd get certified in a bunch of different OSs and networking, whatever you could get. Get certified in like TCP/IP. You got the CNA certified Novell administrator, sure. Novell was it, man. Oh, right, Oracle certified too. And a bunch of friends of mine got SAS. They got SASE. They went and got their SAS certificates, right? They could be SAS database. Yeah, that was the other big one you'd get too. The database ones, right? You'd get approved for a DBA, right? A database administrator for, right? And then it could be DBA, DBE, database engineer, DBT, database technician. Oh, you're taking your CISSP in a few weeks here. I guess I'm trying to think of the. Is there really any? Well, it's probably all Azure now, right? What's the big certification right now? It's going to be on there. I mean, what did they used to use? I can't even remember. God, it's been so long. I can't remember the terminology for it, but they had. Oh, it's killing me. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it. But it was sort of like Microsoft's sort of like big back-end system. Yeah, MSCE. Right, transitioning from Novell to Microsoft, sure. Not SQL, it's not SQL Server. Not SQL, though you could get lots of certs for that. No. God. What did they used to call their sort of like back-end tech for, Oh, God, it's on the tip of my tongue. And I can't think of it. I'll look it up and I'll talk about it next week. I'll remember it. But I think it was replaced by like Azure, right? Or whatever. Where they, in other words, you don't host it. They sort of cloud it now. God, what was I think? Active Directory. God, I couldn't think of it. Active Directory is dead now, right? It's been completely replaced by a whole new tech. But that was all the rage back then. Active Directory. Yeah, Azure is their cloud. I was thinking of what, but I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure that Active Directory got replaced, right? They finally dumped it. Yeah. Now it's called ADDS, Active Directory Domain Services, right? Or ADSI. Yeah. I felt like they were, like it had been a thing for about 10 or 15 years, but I felt like they were moving away from it. It's still alive, yeah. It feels like it's been modded, though. Right, I feel like it's not like it was when Windows 2000 came out, which you wouldn't expect it to be. Still alive is hidden deep, yeah. Can't get rid of it. You tried scrubbing it out. Yeah, right, it's just being renamed. Now you're onto something, right? We continue to innovate. Isn't it just Active Directory, but you put it on the cloud and renamed it? We are innovating. Sure. It's our innovation that's innovating. Yeah, modded. Yeah. It feels like it was. In fact, it felt like it was going through a bit of a morph about 15 years ago, right around 2010, 2012. Because I think right around that time I was hearing murmurs about it's all going away. It's all going to the cloud, man. Which they eventually did do with Azure, right? Yeah, exactly. Active Directory just rebranded to stay hip. Exactly. We continue to innovate with our innovative innovation. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, about 2010 plus. That was one of the last servers I had built. I had built 2 new servers for this financial services company and a law firm. The law firm one was a pain in the ass because they had so much crap they wanted to host on it. The financial services one was a breeze because they had all kinds of crazy cloud protect going on, and they had a VPN with this central office, and we couldn't really store locally a lot of stuff. It was all just, they had to store it, and it was, all very locked down. So it was pretty easy to manage, and that thing was a rocket. I was always impressed by that machine. That bigger one, which was a lot more money for the law firm, what a pain in the ass that whole server was. God. Active Directory still alive. They badly named it a service within Azure and called it Azure Active Directory. Sure. It's not Ryzen. What's the name of the new chip? Ryzen AI. Wow. How many meetings? How many bagels to come up with Ryzen AI? Oh my God. They've now changed it to Entra. Now you don't even know what it is. At least Active Directory, it felt like you kind of knew. Yeah. Yeah, Linux kernel, now ARM, sure. Yeah, can we talk NPUs? Change the color, throw in the word innovative in there a few times, and you've got a moneymaker. Pretty much. I used to work with NT4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to build the old Compact Pro Alliance with NT4. And then we had just switched to like Windows 2000. And then I was out of it for a little bit. And then when I went back, it was really Windows 2008, I think. Windows 4 and NT Server were moneymakers. Oh, absolutely. Have a good one, Tony. Thanks for hanging out. NT4 was great. It worked. People were bitching about Windows 2000, but I found it pretty damn stable. I thought it worked pretty well. Mine was pretty good. No complaints here. Yeah, Windows 2000 was great. I thought so too. I was pretty happy with Windows 2000. Yeah, VMware, God, there was such an explosion of virtual machining for the longest time. God, VM got so huge. But I feel like even that isn't where it was 10, 15 years ago. This Schecter is pretty amazing. I really like this Schecter. Yeah, virtual machines were all the rage. God, I used to hear ads nonstop for frickin' VMware. We have your VM solutions. Call us over here at VM Solutions. They have radio ads all the time for virtual. We can set your virtualization service up. Windows 7 was peak MSOS. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't like the flattening of the operating system. They're all trying to morph into this flat sort of like Windows as a service. It's pretty depressing, actually. Windows is basic. Well, let's put not too fine. Windows as an advertising service. Period. See if they can shake the couch and pull a few dollars out of that operating system. Any more money in this thing? HP base 10 and a token ring network. Wow. We used to have a fax machine. We had this, no one knew how to run it. We had this one guy who was in his 70s, I think. Certainly his 60s. I want to say his 70s. But he was still getting pretty, steady work, out of us at least, to come in and work the fax machine, do backups, pull data out as needed. And then we got the crazy $150,000 giant friggin' Sun machine. Ugh, I think the rack was $20,000. That thing was stupid. And had to bring a special Unix guy in to run it. No one knew how to run it. It's like, really, you can't just stick with... For the money you spent on that, you could have bought a freaking farm, top of the line Dell and compact service. I don't know. It felt like a lot of money. $150,000 they paid for that fucking thing. How much faster is it? I need to put on guitars with those offset frets. You mean the ones that fan out? Or you mean like the fan fret? I've actually had a few of those here. You don't notice it when you're playing it, but they do it so that if you're doing especially a really low detuned, the scale lines up, right? So it'd be a shorter scale on the thinner string and a longer scale on the shorter, so they have the fan fret. If you mean like the Buzz Fenton system, where it's like, what do they call that? Like the micro-tuned frets, those are harder. That's much harder to find, much harder to install too. Yeah, the fan frets. The fan frets are pretty. I'm pretty sure I've had maybe one or two here. You don't notice it when you're playing it. It looks more, like a difference than it does when you're actually playing it. Weirdly enough, you don't really notice it. A Brazil Sir guitar is too expensive. Oh, I'm sure. Well, Sir guitars are pretty expensive here in the States, so I'm sure it's even. But by the time you get through with importing it and all that. I'm sure it's very expensive. In fact, I was in the building when they went from the old BNC connector. Remember the old BNCs? And we put in Cat 5. They put in Cat 5. And there was a big debate over whether putting Cat 5 or Cat 5e, I think. I think they wound up going Cat 5. I think there was Cat 3 or Cat 4. You didn't have to get Cat 5. But they wanted it to be future-proof. It was more money. And there were dudes crawling through the ceiling in that place for friggin' weeks. I remember I had a guitar Plek. No, I own a couple of Gibsons, and those are Plek from the factory. I wouldn't say I notice a big difference between them. It would have to kind of be a before and after where I would know what a guitar felt like and then go get it Pleked and see if I notice a difference. But I'm sure it's good. I mean, you know, what with the lasers and all. Whatever they're doing. I think they use lasers, or do they use ultrasonic? I'm trying to forget how they measure the front. I don't know if it's a laser measure or if they do like an ultrasonic, like a radar. Yeah, right. Cat 5e would be a good investment. We might have gone Cat 5e. We got to remember this was in 1998. Was Cat 5e out yet? I think it might have been. Or were we still on Cat 5? You know, we were going from 10 megabit to 100 megabit. So we weren't even looking at gigabit yet. I'm at 2.5 gigabit on most of my systems, and I'm at 5 gigabit on 2 or 3 of my systems. And I have a 10 gigabit backbone between the attic and the basement on my 2 switches. So I got some bandwidth. Still haven't friggin' gotten the snake back down to the basement again to do the what I want to do. I want to do the fiber optic cable. I was going to pull up a 480 gigabit fiber optic cable. Figure that ought to hold me for a while. I know holy smokes, we had the time go. I know it's already 8:57. About Pensa guitars, right? So Pensa Sur was the original company. Everyone knows what happened to Sur. But what happened to Pensa? All right? He's the Garfunkel in this relationship. And and I want to say, was Pensa and Sur, were they together in Valley Arts guitars? Did both of those start with Valley Arts? And then they switched to Pensa Sur? And then it just became Sur? Is that the trajectory? I don't know. Have a good one, speaker. Oh, thank you, Andy. Yeah, it's 8:58. We're going to wrap it up here in a couple of minutes. Love you, sir. Got it used. A buddy of mine bought a Sur, and he bought it used, and it had some problem with the paint, like chipping and flaking. And so he reached out to Sur and said, how much to have it painted? And they were like, well, because it's a Sur, it's covered under warranty. If you shipped it to us, we would paint it to the color of your choice for free, but there's like a was something like a $200 shipping and handling fee. Well, it didn't seem like a ton. It was like literally like $200. It's pretty cheap. So like if you're willing to pay the $200 to cover the return shipping and the box that we're going to have to, right, there was some handling thing. He was like, yeah, okay. He goes, I sent them the guitar. They gave me a list of colors. He goes, I chose a color. He goes, they went over he goes, I swear to God, it was like a brand new guitar. He goes, they must have thrown the whole neck on the friggin' buffing wheel. The frets were all polished. It was a brand new set of strings. They went through he goes, it was like a brand new goddamn guitar. It was unbelievable. And he goes, admittedly, the guitar looked brand friggin' new. He goes, it was the best money I ever spent. Was it Rudy Pensa? And John Sir worked at Rudy's? Okay. Yeah, Pensa Sir. I seem to remember Pensa Sir. You know? Sir pricing is insane. Yeah. I think so. But, again, he loves his. He thinks it's... my friend that had his refinished, he swears by it. Absolutely loves his. So... you know, there's definitely some love out there for the brand. All right, guys. I am off. No, you rock. You guys have a wonderful week. New guitar coming out on Monday. I still got to decide which one's going to come out. I try to mix it up. So I got to choose one that's not like this. The anti this. Something complete. And now for something completely different. I do try to mix it up week after week. So we'll see. I'll pick one of them. I have 3 more to go before the next round. And there you have it. All right, no, you guys have a wonderful week. Check out my new video on Monday. I might have a second video this week, though. It's been really tricky with my father-in-law. It's been tough. It's been tricky, but we'll see. I'll try. All right, guys, have a great week. I will see you all next week. And until then, have a wonderful week. All right. I'll see you later.